Welcome back to another deep dive.
Yeah, happy to be here.
So glad to have you back. And today we're going to be jumping into episode 2 of our marketing unit.
Right into it.
Our first episode really focused on, really understanding the needs and wants of your customers.
Right, the basics.
Exactly. Really crucial for any successful marketing strategy.
Super important.
So today we're going to be leaning on that foundation and tackling a concept called market segmentation.
Absolutely.
So what is that all about?
Well, it's all about really kind of getting laser focused.
Okay.
Moving beyond just knowing what your customers want to really understanding exactly who wants it.
Okay, I like that.
Like digging deeper.
Yeah, it's like we're becoming like marketing detectives.
Right.
Instead of just this broad, generic approach, we're narrowing our focus and figuring out how to connect with specific groups of people
Exactly.
who are most likely to be interested in what we're offering.
Yeah, think of it this way. Instead of just shouting your message from a mountaintop,
And hoping that, someone hears it,
right.
you're having individual conversations with the people most likely to become, loyal customers.
I like that a lot. So
Stop being targeted.
yeah, let's break this down a bit.
Okay.
What are some of the key ways that businesses actually segment their markets?
Well, some of them might seem pretty obvious at first,
Right.
but there's a lot more nuance to it than you might think.
Okay.
Let's start with one of the most common ways to segment gender.
Okay. So this is basically acknowledging that men and women often have different needs and preferences.
Absolutely.
And we see this everywhere, right?
All over.
From clothing stores with separate sections for men and women to even those razor commercials that now often feature both men and women using their products.
Right. It's evolving.
It's everywhere.
And it goes beyond just basic products.
Okay.
A company like Nike, for example, has entire product lines specifically designed for men and women.
Wow.
From, athletic shoes, apparel, even sports equipment.
Yeah.
They've really invested heavily in understanding
Right.
the physiological and stylistic differences
Wow.
between their male and female customer base.
Yeah, it makes you realize how much thought goes into these decisions.
A ton.
It's not just about like slapping a pink label on something and calling it a women's product.
No, not at all.
There's more to it.
And a really interesting example is Bulldog Skincare.
Okay.
They saw a gap in the market for male-focused skincare products,
Interesting.
recognizing that, men often have different skin concerns and preferences than women.
Right.
And by focusing specifically on that niche,
Yeah.
they've built a really successful brand.
It's a great example of how understanding a specific segment
Right.
can lead to a whole new market opportunity.
Totally. See it all the time.
So we've got gender. What's another big one?
Age is absolutely crucial.
Okay.
A teenager and a retiree
Right.
are going to have vastly different needs, interests, and spending habits.
For sure. Yeah.
For sure. I'm even just thinking about my own music preferences.
Right.
Like what I listened to as a teenager is a far cry from what I enjoy now.
Exactly. And companies know this. Think about Lego, for instance.
Okay.
They have Lego sets designed for toddlers,
Oh, wow.
all the way up to adults, with varying levels of complexity and themes
Yeah.
that cater to each age group's interests and abilities.
It's amazing how they've managed to stay relevant to so many generations.
It's really impressive.
On the other end of the spectrum, you have platforms like TikTok,
Right.
which are heavily skewed towards a younger demographic.
Absolutely.
And they've built their entire strategy.
Yeah.
The type of content, the advertising, the whole experience around understanding and engaging that specific age group.
Yeah, they've really honed in on that.
Wow. So we've talked about gender, age, now moving beyond those individual characteristics. Location also plays a huge role in shaping what people want and need.
Absolutely huge.
I mean, this one seems pretty intuitive, right?
Very much so.
What you sell in a beach town is probably going to be different from what you sell in a ski resort.
Makes sense.
So how do businesses really think about this?
Well, a great example of this is McDonald's.
Oh,
They're famous for adapting their menus to cater to local tastes.
really?
In India, you'll find the McSpicy paneer.
Interesting.
While in many Asian countries, rice dishes are offered alongside their classic burgers and fries.
I love that about McDonald's.
Yeah.
It shows they're really paying attention to cultural differences and culinary preferences.
It's a global brand with local flavor.
And this applies to all sorts of industries too, right?
All sorts.
Like think about hotels.
Yeah.
A coastal hotel is going to target their marketing heavily towards tourists and families
Of course.
looking for a beach vacation.
Yeah.
Whereas a hotel in a bustling city center might focus on business travelers.
Right.
Or those seeking cultural experiences.
Totally different clientele.
So we've covered gender, age, and location.
We have.
What's the fourth key area of segmentation?
Income levels.
Okay.
This one's all about understanding a customer's spending power.
Right.
And tailoring your products and messaging accordingly.
So luxury brands like Gucci and Rolex
Exactly.
are going to be targeting those with higher disposable incomes,
Yeah.
while more budget-friendly stores like Aldi or Primark focus on customers who prioritize value and affordability.
Right. Those are really good examples.
So it's about recognizing that different income levels often come with different priorities and purchasing behaviors.
Absolutely.
Someone with a higher income might be more willing to splurge on premium goods and experiences.
Sure.
While someone on a tighter budget might be more focused on finding the best deal.
It just makes sense, right?
It does.
Different people, different priorities.
Yeah, it's about meeting those needs.
Exactly.
Wherever they are.
That's what it's all about. It's fascinating stuff, really.
It is. We've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
Talking about these 4 key types of market segmentation. Gender, age, location, and income. But I think it's important to step back and ask the so what question.
Okay.
Like, why does all of this really matter?
Yeah.
Not just for businesses,
Right.
but for us as consumers.
I think that's a great point.
Yeah.
Understanding market segmentation can really make you a much more informed and discerning consumer.
Okay. How so?
Well, once you start to recognize how companies are segmenting their audiences, you can really start to analyze the messages you're receiving and make more conscious decisions about the products and services you choose.
So instead of just passively absorbing advertising,
Right.
we can start to decode the strategies behind it.
Exactly.
And ask ourselves, am I the target audience for this?
Yeah. Is this for me?
Does this product actually align with my needs and values?
Precisely.
Makes you realize you have more power than you might think.
Oh, for sure.
You're not just a passive recipient of marketing messages.
Right.
You can choose to engage with the brands that resonate with you and ignore the ones that don't.
You have the power.
I like that.
And another benefit of understanding segmentation, I think, is that it helps you appreciate the incredible diversity of the marketplace.
That's true.
There's no one-size-fits-all approach to anything anymore.
Right.
Companies are constantly finding new ways to cater to niche interests and lifestyles.
It's kind of like how streaming services have changed the way we consume entertainment.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
We're no longer limited to like a handful of TV channels.
Right.
We have access to a whole world of content tailored to our specific interest.
Yeah, that's a perfect analogy.
So as consumers, we benefit from having more choices.
Yeah.
Finding products that really resonate with us. And from a business perspective, it allows companies to connect with more customers.
Absolutely.
And carve out their own unique space in the market.
It's a win-win.
Right. Even if it does come with some potential downsides.
Well, yeah, of course.
What do you mean?
I mean, some critics would argue that all this segmentation can lead to information overload. We're constantly bombarded with targeted ads and messages.
Right.
And it can be difficult to filter out the noise and find what's genuinely relevant to us.
Yeah, it's like having a million TV channels, but nothing good to watch.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And then there are also concerns about the potential for manipulation.
Oh, in what way?
Well, if companies know so much about our preferences and behaviors, could they use that information to exploit our vulnerabilities?
Oh, okay.
Or influence our decisions in ways that aren't in our best interest?
It's like that saying, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product.
Right. It's a complex issue.
It is.
No easy answers.
So where do we go from here?
Well, I think the key takeaway is that understanding how market segmentation works is essential for navigating the modern marketplace.
Makes sense.
Empowers us to be more informed consumers and make choices that align with our values and priorities.
Absolutely. This has been a really eye-opening conversation, and I feel like I have a much better grasp of how market segmentation shapes the world around us.
I'm glad.
So to wrap things up, I want to leave our listeners with a little challenge.
Ooh, I love a good challenge.
As you go about your day,
Yeah.
pay attention to the marketing messages you encounter.
Okay.
The ads, the product placements, the social media posts.
Yeah.
Ask yourself, who is the target audience for this message?
Good question.
What assumptions are they making about me?
Interesting.
And am I comfortable with being categorized in this way?
That's a fantastic challenge.
I think so.
Really encourages us to be more aware of the subtle ways in which marketing influences our perceptions and behaviors.
For sure.
And reminds us that we have the power to choose which messages we engage with and which ones we ignore.
Exactly. By being more mindful consumers,
Yes.
we can shape the marketplace.
Absolutely.
And ensure that it reflects our values and priorities.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
A huge thank you to our listeners for joining us on this deep dive into market segmentation.
Thanks, everyone.
We hope you found it insightful and thought-provoking.
We had a great time.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep questioning the messages you encounter.
Stay curious out there.
Okay, so just to kind of recap quickly,
Sure.
what we've learned in this episode about market segmentation.
Yeah, I mean, we started by looking at the four main types, right? Gender, age, location, and income. And we saw how companies use these categories to tailor their products, their marketing campaigns, and even their overall business strategies to resonate with specific groups of people.
Connect with those people.
Absolutely. It's all about finding the right audience.
And we talked about how understanding these different segments allows businesses to
meet diverse needs, right? Target their marketing more effectively.
More effectively and ultimately boost those sales.
Yeah, it's all about the bottom line.
Right.
But we also explored how this impacts us as consumers.
Right, not just the businesses.
Exactly. It's a two-way street.
How your access.
Yeah, and we talked about how becoming aware of these segmentation strategies can actually help you become a more informed consumer.
Okay.
Allowing you to kind of critically evaluate the marketing messages you encounter.
Right.
And make choices that really align with your values and priorities.
It's about taking control of your decisions as a consumer.
Being conscious.
We even touched on some of the potential downsides, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Of all this segmentation, like information overload.
Too much information sometimes.
And the possibility of manipulation.
Yeah, that's the scary part.
That's a bit concerning.
Definitely something to be aware of.
So it's a complex topic.
It is.
With both benefits and drawbacks.
As with most things in life.
But
knowledge is power.
Right.
The more you understand about how market segmentation works, the better equipped you'll be to navigate the modern marketplace.
Makes sense.
And make decisions that are right for you.
So this has been a fascinating deep dive.
I agree.
Into this really crucial aspect of marketing.
It's foundational.
And we hope you enjoyed it.
I hope so.
Learned a thing or two along the way.
And start thinking a little bit more critically.
About the marketing messages that you see out there.
About who's trying to reach you.
Absolutely. And a special thank you to Google Notebook LM for its AI audio assistance.
Yeah, big help.
In bringing this episode to life.
Made it all possible.
This episode was a Peel Strategy production.
Until next time.
Until next time.